we have to start with Mohamed Salah's
Yeah,
farewell, whether temporary or permanent.
yeah,
Liverpool were playing Brighton. And let's not forget, while the Salah thing overshadowed everything, this is still a Liverpool team who are not doing well. They're
yeah,
not playing well. And they don't just have issues with Salah and up front, they have issues at the back,
yeah.
arguably at the fullback positions and so on. Um, I wasn't surprised that he didn't start.
No, that was expected.
I was surprised that he came off on after 26 minutes when Joe Gomez, who started at right back,
Yeah, that's the.
that surprised you. Should we read
No,
anything
it's
into
just
it?
the injury, but
It's totally normal.
Slot has to make him the first serve. Otherwise, he would have created even more chaos, problems, tensions. So whenever that first sub was, this was so early because of the injury. Otherwise, that would have never happened. He
All right.
didn't make it because there was no injuries. He made it because Joe Gomez was injured. So it was easy with Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones already on the pitch to bring in Salah, no doubt.
See, I didn't read it that way. I have a completely different reading from you on as we do on most things, Salah. Um, I actually thought if you bring him on this early, you don't know what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to put this down. So he had a talk with Salah, right?
Yeah.
Finally, right? Supposedly they weren't talking, whatever. Salah was dropped for the midweek game. It was a club decision. I think it was inevitable given what came before that. But sending him on after 26 minutes, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It could mean that you have to take him off later on if things don't go according to plan. You're only 1-0 up. It was an ideal. There's no Bradley, there's no Frimpong, but you did have other options. You could have brought in, dare I say, Federico Chiesa
there was
on
no
the
other
right and moved
options,
Soboslai.
There
You
was
could
no
have
other.
brought on Andy Robertson to play right back. Not his flank, but he can do a job. He's done a job at center back. You could have moved Curtis Jones and maybe brought somebody else in. You did have other things. I thought it was a big call. And between the fact that Slot said he wants him to stay, between the fact that Van Dijk would later say he wanted him to stay, between the fact that they had a chat, I don't know. I'm wondering if the percent chance that he plays for Liverpool again has just increased.
Yeah, maybe. I thought Slot was very good in his pre-match and post-match press conference. Again, for the whole piece, like bring him on the first serve was also to buy that kind of piece, not give more legs to the story, not infuriate anybody. He knew the reception would be great for Salah, and it was, and it deservedly as well, from that home crowd. And then it was a game where you also know it would be open, so you know that Salah wanted to play. He was going to play with a lot of energy and a lot of things to prove before going to AFCON. So it made a lot of sense. I think nobody knows what's going to happen in a month's time or 6 weeks' time, whether it stays or not. But I think in terms of, in a way, resolving this whole issue, Saturday was just the perfect way of doing it for
See,
now.
I'm coming around to the idea that in the end he's going to stay, and part of the reason, and look, I can't put percentages on it, but a big part of the reason is nobody likes being wrong. If he doesn't stay, it's going to mean that he signed a new contract on April 11th. It's going to mean that they were wrong in extending the contract, and certainly 6 months at a huge wage. It's going to mean that Slot was wrong in thinking he was making it work. It was going to mean Salah was wrong in thinking he should stay, and it's going to mean that Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards were wrong too in believing it would work. I think there are ways to resolve this, and then there's the other aspect of if he was so keen on Saudi, why not move in the summer and not be a transfer fee involved? So all these things coming together, the situation's evolving. There was a football match played as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool won. Ugo Kitike, I thought, looked sharp.
Yeah, always.
Brighton, I thought, probably could have gotten something out of this game.
Yeah.
And those defensive issues, I think, are still there. All right, Jules, let's turn away from Salah for a minute. Well, actually, no. Let's stick with Salah for a second because this scoreline could have been bigger. And Salah was involved in some of that. Obviously, he had the assist to the goal, which I love how all of a sudden, because there's so many numbers nerds out there, we discover these new categories. And what was this? The Premier League record for goal involvements with one club,
Yeah.
where he got the assist, so he moved ahead of Wayne Rooney.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Erling Haaland's going to own all these records if he doesn't leave Manchester City.
Surely, yeah.
But yeah, had you heard of this before today?
Yeah, it's like a lot of people like goal involvement per minute.
I know goal involvements,
That's
but
what it is.
goal involvements with one club.
Well, yeah, as in, like, you look at it, it's pretty good to do. If you do for the same club, 266, I think he's on, or something like that. It's pretty. That shows the longevity, how good you've done for that club. You know, I had like no issues with that.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's total fugazi nonsense, but we know he's been good for a long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
with Liverpool. He had that chance at the end where he
Yeah.
kind of snatched it, put it over. He had that other counter where the poor guy, like, I don't think he was expecting to see Virgil van Dijk. Like,
I mean,
next
it's Van
day.
Dijk and Robertson as well, of all people.
People forget
Russians
that
in
when
there.
Virgil van Dijk has those big, long, powerful legs, that once he gets moving,
Yeah.
he can really, really motor up the
Yeah.
pitch. Did you see anything in his performance other than a desire to do well?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the question is what we've said all along: is this team better without him than with him? Because the thing is, he wants to start every game. That's what he said to Slot. So if Slot says to him, "Listen, I can't guarantee you a starting start," that's when I think he start thinking about moving and go to a club where he would start every game. You might not be happy with Saudi, MLS, I don't know, whatever. But if Slot says to him, "You've been on the bench the last 5 games in a row on the bench now." There's
Well,
no
4
reason.
plus 1 because he wasn't there in Milan.
Yeah. So, but
Right.
that's
Yeah.
so, yeah. Sorry, four on the bench plus 1 missing. So 5 games in a row where there was no Salah in the starting lineup. Why would that change now? They've done pretty well in those 5 games without him. So this is, for me, this is the whole thing. He was sharp. Of course, he was sharp. He wanted to show on field the family was there, all of that. It might be his last game. You want to do well. 100%. You play against a team that is a good team, but a very open team. You know, I think Brighton have kept 1 clean sheet in the whole season so far in the Premier League. So this is what they do. They give you a lot of space, a lot of time. They were probably better than Liverpool on Saturday, but overall, they're a team that just let you have chances and chances. So that was good for him. Then play, let's say, against a 5-4-1, like, I don't know, like a super defensive team. So that suited him. But I go back to the same point. Is this Liverpool team better without him than they are with him? And if that's the case, and I think, again, the last 5 games, to me, I love Mo Salah, but he's 33. He's not the future. If this team looks better or is better without him, then he's going to be benched again. And if he doesn't want to be benched, he has to leave. Otherwise, he's going to be on the bench and he's not going to be happy because he's going to be on the bench 2 games in a row and he's going to do the same thing that he did, stop in the mix zone, and we'll have this whole circus again. That's the thing. So, yeah, he looked good. Of course, he looked good.